If you are watching this video, it is not by accident. You are supposed to see this. Because if you want to learn to draw, this video will be the most important lesson you will ever see. All right, let's go to class. Our students, welcome back. Now, let's get going. Not too long ago, someone wrote me and said that I'm a beginner artist, and could you do a video on what the most important beginning steps to drawing is? So I pondered on that for a while, and I came up with this. So sharpen your pencils, get you some paper, and let's get to going, because this will be the most important lesson for beginner artists to learn how to draw. Guaranteed, money back guaranteed. If you're not satisfied with this video, simply ask for your refund. All right, so let's get going. The most important, if you are a beginning artist, even if you just didn't start yesterday, if you started yesterday, if you started like 3 months ago or last year and still are having problems drawing something, this video will clarify that, period. All right, so the most important thing. Now, a lot of artists have seen this already. A lot of people have seen this already, because this is just simple knowledge. The first three things you're going to need is this, to be able to draw these three shapes. Very simple. This is the basis to everything that has been built. Okay? Everything. And I'll show you as we go along. Learn how to draw these three shapes, and you already know how to draw them. If you can write, you can draw. I always say that. Always say that. This triangle, put a line here. You remove this bottom line. You have the letter A. How many times have you drawn the A? You take this here. You put a line across here. You have the capital H. You remove these two. You have the capital H. And this is just a circle, a zero, a ball, a wheel, whatever. So don't say you can't draw these three shapes. You can draw these three shapes. Simple. Now, one thing about artists, us artists, is that we put too much pressure on ourselves trying to draw something perfect the first time, trying to grab some big thing that has so much to it. Example, let's just say this thing. We'll look at this, and first thing we'll look at is the detail in it, and we'll try to draw that detail instead of just drawing it for its basic shape. So once you learn these three shapes, you'll be ahead of the pack. Okay, so let's say you can draw these three shapes. Now let me get you to look at how things are made, shall we say. Now, whenever we draw, or whenever we look at something we want to draw, that thing is going to be basically shaped like one of these three shapes. Now, what they will do is these things. They will either stack, they will add, they will subtract, they will tilt, they will turn, and they will stretch. And once you have all of those three things down, or those three components down, then you can draw anything you see. So for instance, let's subtract. Let's go from the square. Let's just subtract some line from the square. Let's just take this, 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 and this. Subtract that. Draw lines through that. And let's just chop these off. You have a completely new shape. Let's just say we chop the top of this off. Let's chop the top of that off. Completely new shape. The circle, let's add another circle. Let's stack another couple circles on it. Let's just do this. Let's say I'll stack a circle right here, and I'll stack another circle right there on top of that. So let's subtract this. Let's get rid of that circle right there and get rid of this circle right here. So now you have a completely new shape for everything just by chopping some part off or stacking something on and removing something. So remember those things. You're going to stack, you're going to add, you're going to subtract, you're going to tilt, you're going to turn, and you're going to stretch those things. Now, one of the hardest parts about doing something, drawing something from the side, that's one of the hardest things about is how you see it. Just put it that way. One of the hardest things, let's say this again. One of the hardest things about drawing is turning something to the side. And most times, all you are drawing is a triangle from the side. Let's just say, where's my pencil go? Right in front of my face. Let's just say, because this is in the way, I want to draw this. Let's just say I want to draw a triangle here. Let's just say I'm on top to this. That's just a triangle right there. So any line, any extra line is going to go to that point right there. So I want to just follow this line here and follow that line here. And then I'm going to take the rest of it off. Just by drawing that triangle. This is how important these three shapes are. If I can get it in your head, then you'd be good. Let's do this square again. A lot of people have trouble drawing this cube and make it 3 dimensions. Draw a triangle from wherever you want. Draw the end of that triangle from whatever point you want it. Let's just say this point right here. This point right here. There's my triangle. Boom. Triangle. From the top to the bottom. Okay? Any extra edge you have, again, draw it here. Then you're going to go, since this line is straight up and this line is straight across, you want to do that again. Straight up and down and straight across. It is very simple to draw from the side once you understand it. Same thing with this. Put that triangle or put that point wherever you want to, and it's always there. So let's put one here. So wherever the highest point would be, there, and there, and then there. So because this is sloped in, slope that in, and this is curved, curve that around like that. So whatever shape you have, it can be done. It can be done. All right, so one of another biggest problems is when you see something, you have to see it for its basic shape. So let's take this. This is alcohol. This is an alcohol bottle. Forgive my voice. And when you look at this, don't look at the detail. Look at the basic shapes. So I have a rule. Whenever I see something that is long, I consider it to be a rectangle. Okay? Now that's just a square that has been stretched. That's all it is, rectangle. Don't be afraid of shapes. So if I look at this, I'll say, okay, this is a rectangle. Let me put this down because you can see this from the thing. This is a rectangle. And on top, I see a triangle, which is another basic thing. If something it starts to come together. It doesn't have to come together all the way to a point, but if it starts out wide and it comes together in any form or fashion, I see that as a triangle. So if I'm going to draw this, I'm going to do, let me get my paper straight. I'm going to do my rectangle. Basic. Remember, don't try to get perfect in the beginning. If you are just starting, don't beat yourself down trying to get something perfect. That's why when I do my videos, I don't try to do these perfect, beautiful drawings because you won't be able to keep up. And then you'll get frustrated because yours won't look like mine and you'll give up. And I don't want that artist spirit in you to die. So this is what I see here, right here. This to me, I see a triangle. I see this little triangle right there. And you'll say, Brian, that doesn't look like that. No, it doesn't look like that, but I'll chop it off. Remember, you're subtracting, you're stacking. I took this rectangle, I stacked a triangle on it. Now I'm chopping it off or subtracting part of it. Then I see a small rectangle on top of that. There's my basic shape. That's all you need to do in the beginning is get the basic shape before you try to add detail to it. So you should be happy with that. Maybe you'll say, okay, I'll make this a little longer. And then there's a little right here. I'm about to touch my monitor. There's a little edge right here, which is just another long rectangle. And there's a space between the cap and that little rectangle. And you see how close it's becoming to becoming that bottle. So down here in this inner piece right here, this is just another rectangle. So I'll say like this, rectangle here. You really can't see too much of it. I see better in the light and down here. And then there's a little rectangle piece like right here for the edge. And the more you see these shapes within these shapes, the better you can draw. Even this, if I want to start doing detail, I'll just draw a line across here like that. And then this little square piece here is not really square, but I'll do it as a square first and then round off the edges. Remember, you're adding, you're subtracting, you're turning, tilting, stretching, and stacking. All right, so another shape. But as I say, whatever shape, no matter what it is, let's see if I can pull this here. This is my light here. What do I see? What do I see here? I see a triangle and a rectangle on top. I'll round it off, round off that triangle. Boom, I got my light. And inside here, I just see a bunch of squares, and then I'll round them off. So if you go through life just looking at something as a basic shape, you will be able to draw quickly, very, very quickly. You will improve. All right, so let's take a couple more shapes. I'm gonna try to make this a quick video because I can just draw shapes all day, and that's just, once you get it, you get it. Okay, that is my USB drive. Okay, it's like that, USB drive. Now, what do you see in this? Let me open this up like this. What shapes do you see in that? Straighten that out. All I see is one long rectangle, like this. First of all, I'm not looking at any detail into it. And then I see a little square on the end. And this is why you should practice. Don't ever just pick up your pencil, first of all, and paper, and then say, okay, today I'm going to draw this perfect picture. Practice first. You have to warm up. If you're going to play basketball or football, or you're going to play piano or sing or whatever, you warm up first. And this is all this is warming up. I have to use my poor man's pencil sharpener because my electric one is kind of on the fritz right now. So, okay, this is what I see. All right, now, here's a circle right here. These are simple, simple shapes. Try not to look at all the detail. Get the shapes first. Here's a circle right here. And here's a circle, half a circle that comes over it. Like that. Now, this could be a little longer, but don't worry about that. And then right in here, there are just two little squares. Okay? And then you have, okay, on the back, you have a half a circle. I don't know what that's for. I guess you can hook hook it to a chain, but that's mighty small. And then you have another half a circle inside. So you're just adding shapes. So if I did a circle, and it just came to me, if I did a circle, and I did another circle, stop it, and I did another circle, you just have your shapes within your shapes. And when I said stop it, I was trying to tell myself, stop drawing so many lines. Another way to practice, just circles within circles within circles. And it's like that. All right, so let's go to something a little more, I don't want to say advanced. This is really not advanced. All right, say like you want to draw these cool glasses. What shapes do you see? What do you see? Now, there's a number of things that I can do. Let's get my mouse back so I can hold it up so you guys can see it. It's a mouse with sunglasses. Nice. As best as I can get it to stay up. All right, so it's not going to cooperate. It doesn't want to stand up on its own, so I'm just going to hold it. Flip my paper over so that we can have a fresh start. All right, so there's a lot of glare in this thing. Put it on the white. All right, what shapes do I see? Now, there are certain ways, there are certain shapes I can see, and I want to get this blue pencil. So I can see, let's just say if I take one of these, I can see a triangle. I can see a circle with a triangle on top. I can cut it, so I'll cut it this way. I'll cut it this way. Or I can see the whole thing as just one rectangle, like that. Some things have so many cuts and twists in them that you'll have to see separate pieces stacked together. That's why I say some are stacked and then taken away. Like this could be a triangle with a circle stacked on top. All right, so let's do this whole thing first. Now, if I did this whole set of glasses, is this glasses or will this be a glass? I don't know. So right off the bat, I see this. I see this triangle right here in the middle. Now, again, we see this sloping down. So this could be a triangle right here or coming to be like a triangle. Same thing here. Now, you see how close you are to making glasses? Cut it here, make this a little longer, cut it here. Now, there is a little circle right in here. So if I do a whole circle, it would be like that, but we're going to we're going to erase this. And then there's a circle right here, making that circle right here. So I'm doing this. Then for this part here, I will round this off, another circle inside there. And then of course at the bottom, there's another circle right here. So if you're having hard times rounding something off, just kind of follow through doing a circle. So if I ink this and get rid of this now, I think it would be more like this. Come on, ink pen work. And chops off like that. Chops off like that. You have glasses. So that's the same thing if you do one side. And my blue. Let's go my red. Like this. You have this. The piece here comes down, chops off, comes out again, and then up into that triangle. And then dips down like that. So by seeing something from its just basic shape, stacking, and then chopping off or erasing, then it makes it really, really easy. But when you see something, whatever it is, using this, whatever it is, look at the basic shape. Now, if you saw that and you saw a big rectangle, then you've taken your first step to becoming a Jedi Master. So here, let's do this phone. And this wasn't part of it, but just because it's here. Square or rectangle. Square is perfect length. If say if this is 2 inches, this has got to be 2 inches with this 2 inches with that 2 inches. That's a square. If it's a rectangle, it's going to be longer than a square. Okay, so let's just say this. We have this rectangle here. Of course, simply, you know, the edges are rounded off. So if I do some circles, if I do a little circle here, you don't have to finish the circle. Circle here, you now have rounded edges. Inside that, you have another rectangle like this. Down here, you have another rectangle, but it is circled, rounded, circled. Okay, up here, you have another rectangle. So if you see something like this, just think of a circle, just think of a rectangle, and then just with a circle on the inside to round it off. That's all it is. It's really, really simple. So we have this rectangle, and I'll go ahead and round it off since it's so small. Then we have another one over here, rectangle that's rounded off. And then we have the circle right here, which is the actual camera. All right. Now, if I wanted to start putting detail into it, I will put another border line going around here, same shape, which is just a case. Like that. And then I can say, okay, drop this down a little bit just so I can have the name right here. This is the name right here. I'm not sponsored by Samsung. I wish I was. So bring this over. So when I look at it, I'm like, okay, that's a great start. So now I'll get a ruler and then I'll start rulering this. I'll say, okay, this has to come out longer, this or wider. Let's use a pen, Brian, that doesn't want to write. Okay, so let's get one that I know will write. Like that. Round it off. And this is just what I see when I look at anything. If I look at a book and I turn a page and I see like a spaceship or a robot or whatever, I'll see the squares, the circles, and the triangles in it, and how everything has been chopped up to make another shape. And this is extremely simple. If you look around your room, that's all you will see. is mostly squares and rectangles, because you're in a square room, or basically a square room. So a square will fit inside of a square better than a circle will fit inside of a square. That's why your refrigerator is square, your dining room tables are square. But a lot of times, I'm not gonna say a lot of times, sometimes they'll put a round table in there to just break up the monotony. Your stoves are rectangles or squares. Your chairs are rectangles or squares. So it's what life is made out of. And the sooner you learn how to draw that, the quicker you'll be able to learn how to draw. And then your Samsung. I don't know why I'm taking the time to write this. Yeah, so there you have pretty much good representation of a phone. And make it a little longer, make it a little narrower, but shapes, look at the shapes. All right, let's keep moving on, because I didn't want this video to be so long. Next piece of paper. Now, since you saw the shape in that phone right off the bat, when I threw it out there, you saw the shape on that. You see the shape on this little pencil that's rolling across my desk. That's a pet peeve. To me, it's like a little bug just rolling across my paper. Let's take a look at this. Look at this BMW. Is it BMW? This is a BMW. Yeah, BMW M2. All right. So first of all, what shape do you see? I see that rectangle, same as the phone. Same as that phone. It's just narrower. I know you're looking at the details. If I turn it to the side, what do I see? I see a rectangle, same as the phone. It's just a little thicker. And then I see a square on top of that rectangle, or another rectangle on top of that rectangle, and I see some wheels. So I'm gonna do this real quick. We're gonna draw the side of this car. I'm not looking at the doors, I'm not looking at the mirror, I'm not looking at the rims, I'm looking at the basic shape. So if I start out to draw a car, if I'm doing my comic book, and I need to draw a car, I will do this, then I will do this, and then I will do this. Circle is easy, okay? That's my basic car. Then I will do something like this. Then I'll have to move the trunk out a little bit more. I'll do this because this is a triangle, you see that? And this is another triangle going back. Now if I bring this back a little bit more, and I bring this out a little bit more, I have my basic car shape, all right? I can make the wheels a little bigger if I choose. Now from that point, I will say, okay, this slopes down. So this is basically, could be another triangle. It slopes down. I see that triangle that's hidden inside there. Here, this goes up a little bit, comes down. Then my wheels, I see that my windows, okay, so I have the window that's here. This is another triangle that goes around, that's round. This slopes down. And so now what I'm doing, I'm just chopping off the pieces that I don't need. Okay, so no eraser. Chopping off the pieces that I don't need. Where's my blue pencil again? So this is gonna come down. This is gonna come down to the door. There's another door over here. I can move the wheel up some more. This is when I'm starting to get really detailed or want to get something perfect. But in the beginning, just get your shape. So there's my other door. Here's my wheel. This is going to go here. So as I go, you'll see that car start to come out. And I'm looking at the monitor trying to draw this car instead of looking at the car trying to draw the car. So I'll do something like this. Here's my window, my interior. Piece over here coming down, sloping that. It's going to come down. The wheel well, the wheel. This is going to, a pillar like this. It's going to come down. My light, now I'm trying to get detail now, but I'm not going to really get detail. Here's my front bumper, the wheel well coming here. My door slides back, goes back like that, comes this way, this one goes in, and then down. You have this little piece, this little long rectangle right here. This pen is not writing good. My little rectangle for my doorknob. And a wheel is just a circle. And then if you look at let's see if I can do this with a pen. I have a circle, I have another circle, and this is not a circle, it's going to be crooked, but you know, you stay with me. I have another circle in here, and then these are just triangles right here. These are just triangles. Crooked triangles, but they're triangles, and you just chop them off right here. And then you have your wheels. You know, it's best to have like a, I don't know what you call those things with the circles in them, to make circles. Whenever you do something like that, but if you look at the shape of it, then it is easy to draw. And then you can go inside and you will say, okay, I want to get really fancy smancy and do the lines in between the two and the wheels. And then you have wheels, and then here's my tire right here. Here's my rims, my tire. And then you have your beautiful wheels. But it's just shapes. It's just shapes. That's all it is. If I could beat it into you, I would. It's just shapes. It's just you chop it. You're chopping this thing off. You're drawing your basic shape. You see it first. Basic shape, square, rectangle, circle, triangle, whatever the shape is. So now let me chop this off. Let me chop this off. Let me add something to this. Let me take something away from this. And eventually you will have it. That's why when you start drawing, practice first. Practice, warm up your hands. Warm up by doing your shapes. You'll get it. All right, 2 more to go. 2 more. So can't you see through this? You can see through this. Let me get another piece of paper. Now, let's do this. This is a little toy gun right here. Now, you might be able to see it better on when it's edited because the detail in it. Okay, now I'm not going to look at this detail. I'm going to see rectangles, triangles. I'm not going to just draw this whole gun. I might do it for the thumbnail. But what I see is long piece here. Long little rectangle here. And then I'll see this rectangle here, which is round, but if it's flat, it's going to be more of your rectangle. I will see this half a triangle back here. And this is all this is. If I drew like this, it'll be a triangle. So I'll see a straight, and then half a triangle. If you have to draw the whole triangle, draw the whole triangle, and then chop it off like this. Then I will see this little square piece here at the butt of the gun, a square piece here. Then I will see this little triangle piece going back. So I'm just imagining drawing a triangle. This is the start of a triangle, and then I'll just have this piece like this here. Then I'll see a square up under here. And then I will see this piece coming down, and it's just chopped off like that. All right, then I will do another square, rectangle, sorry, here. Add this little square up here. Add this, have a triangle right here. And we have this, and on the end, you have another rectangle. Actually, this is actually on the, this is in the front. This is here. This is where you start correcting yourself. You get the basic shape, then you go back and look at it and you correct yourself. So this is the basic shape of my gun. Just squares, rectangles, so forth. Then I'll go and I'll correct myself, or then I will add or take away from what I have. Now, the more you do this, the better you become, and this is why I say practice first, practice first, practice first. So I'll see this and I'll say, okay, this is slope. Let me get a better brush that won't destroy me. So this is angled. Look at your gun, Brian. Don't look at the monitor. This is angled here. This is just a rectangle inside, which can be rounded off. You have this piece. You have part of the stock, the barrel, which goes here. And you have this straight back. Wow, my pen's not writing. This curves around right here. This is like a part of a circle that comes down here. And then you have this right here, this piece. And I know I'm going off my lines because I'm actually looking now. You have that. I'm gonna take it all the way to here. Then I'll just add this little piece here. this piece, this, and it starts to take its shape. So then I have this little square, which is almost really a triangle. It's flat on the top, but it goes in like that. A little triangle or rectangle here, lines here, rectangle here. Then I have a triangle right here on the gun, put detail in there if I choose. Here's my barrel, and I'm rushing now just to get this thing done, like that. Then you have your gun. Okay, now there's something here. Then go back and correct. Go back and add or take away whatever. This actually fits under here. This there, so this could be a little higher. But by just seeing the shapes for the shapes itself, and then you're gonna have that coming there. And in between this, there's a bunch of little things little shapes, but it's just circles, ovals, rectangles. Like, where's it at? It goes down here. This goes here. Did you see what I'm drawing? There's a little oval here. There's a circle right here with a little oval right there, or a rectangle right there. You have this opening, which is more rounded. You have the trigger right there. You can make this a little thicker, and it has the holes, just the circles. So the line, you just have the circles here. And then you start to have your gun. So if I drew that like 2 or 3 times, if this is the best I could do, and I drew it 2 or 3 times, like a third time, it'd be a lot better. But I'm just looking at the shapes, All right, so one more. Even if I put it, you can't see it. I'm sorry, you can't really see that. Because if you're drawing guns, every gun is not gonna be this way. It's just angled. And that's the same thing as I told you about this. If this is the front of my gun, let's say this is the barrel. Well, let's just do this. Here's my point, because my gun is going back. I'm gonna do this like that, chop it off like that. So if I do a circle and I'm gonna go back, same thing, go back to that point, wherever that point is gonna be, chop it off like that. Turning that, I don't really have a complete perfect circle in front of me that I can show you guys how to twist. Like if you have a coin, if I have a quarter or a coin, and I turn that sideways just a bit, it's going to be more of an oval, depending on how much I turn that. So this is going to be like this is going to be like this is going to be like that, and you just follow through. Your shapes are going to all go back to that point. However your gun is going to be. Yeah. Like that. So yeah, it's just that triangle that goes out whenever you turn something sideways. Let me see something long like this. This car is this way. I see it from the front, but I want to see it from the side. It's going to be that triangle going back. All right, so last one. What is this? 37 minutes. So if I'm going to draw a person, because my thing is comics, just use this. If I'm going to draw a person, oh, that's hard, Brian, that's really hard. If you take that person and you break them down into shapes, I don't want to grab my book, but let me grab my book. All right, Action Post Position 360 book in the back of this, and I found a drawing because I was sending my books out and I was thinking, so whoever Ferris is, I hope you got a book, because I always do. If I send you a book out, personally, I will always do some type of drawing in it with a thank you. So 2019, I don't know, Ferris, I don't know if you ever got this or not. I'm sorry if I didn't give you one or if I got you another one. So anyway, let me find this page. And here it is. All right, so these are the shapes that I use when I draw a person, a figure. Simple shapes: rectangles, circles, triangles, triangles, triangles. Remember, if it's long and it comes in, think of it as a triangle. Triangle, circle. This is triangle, but I call this the upside down house because it's a triangle. Basically, it's a triangle, upside down triangle, just with lines. And then my rectangle here, oval, oval. Another upside down house. It's a little crooked, but that's okay. So you take all these shapes, you stack them together. Remember, you're gonna stack, add, subtract, tilt, turn, and stretch. So you add all these shapes together, and then you push them together, and then you get that body. So this is just simple to draw a person, but you need to know how to draw a rectangle from different angles, which a rectangle is going to turn into a cylinder, which is simple. All right, so remember that 360 book on Amazon. So if I see this person, or if I'm drawing a person, I'm just going to do that. The head, oval. The neck is a square. I'm going to draw. Let me turn this up because that's going to get a little too short for me. I want to show you guys. So the head is an oval. The neck is just going to be this little square here, or sometimes I'll make it the upside down house. The body is an oval. The shoulders, okay, we have the collarbone, so the shoulders are just triangles like this. So triangle, 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 fitting on that point. The delts are just circles. The arms are rectangles if they're straight. Now, if they're aiming at you, it's like this thing could be considered a rectangle until looking at the black part. Until you tilt it, then you see the roundness of it. So rectangle, rectangle. I'm gonna aim this up. It becomes an oval. Once you see the inside, it becomes an oval like that. And then this one's gonna be up too. So we have this, then we have your waist, rectangle. You have your hips, which is the upside down house. You can go straight. You can go straight down. You don't have to have it flare out. And then you have your leg, which is an oval, oval. Rectangle, I'm speed, I lose my shapes. Triangle, and then triangle for the foot. Half a triangle for the foot. Now what you can do here, once you get better, you can just do the oval, circle, another oval or triangle is what I use, because when I do the arms, I show you a different way, and you can do the same thing with the legs as well. Because an arm, I'll say, people that draw arms is just a circle, oval, and triangle. That's your arm. You just add more to this. You just kind of like add to it. Chop it off right here. Remember, you're gonna subtract, and then you add your hand. Let's just put a hand there, like that. So once I have these shapes, if I just do this, and this is why I use ovals more times than often when you become more a little advanced, because it gives the shape to the leg. And then you worry about your muscles later. A lot of people will just want to start drawing and just get those muscles just ripped. So an easy way, if you're starting out, especially if you're drawing a character that's straight up and down, rectangle. Rectangle. This is going to represent the whole body from your shoulders to your crotch. Rectangle. Put the oval here. Put this little square there. Rectangle. Rectangle, rectangle, and rectangle. So to make it easier or a little better, let me do this, because you want your half a triangle for the male, female different. So if I'm doing this, I'm going to the circle, oval, and my triangle. Chop it off, and then there's going to be my hand right there. Maybe he's reaching in his pocket. He's trying to pull out a knife or something. And then again, triangle, half of a triangle, like this. So if I have my triangle like that, I'll chop it off here and here, half of a triangle, and that can represent your foot in the beginning. So this is my man. So if I want him to be slimmer, let's just say, if I keep a shirt or something on him, I'm going to keep it just like that, because your clothes come down, your shirt is going to be straight unless you're going to have tight. But let's just say I want this guy to have a little better shape. I would do a small triangle, or just a little, not a small one. I can't think of the word that I'm looking for. This is my triangle right here. Not narrow, but just say a squashed triangle right there. Okay, same thing with the guy, other side. Narrow triangle right there. But don't make his hips, because you're doing a woman if you make it too far in and then come down. And again, you can use your oval. Little circle for where the knee is, and then triangle here, like that. Then you can just around, and around, around, in and out and around. And here's my foot like that. Perfect leg, same with the arm, around, stay with that, around, around, and then here's my hand in my pocket. So it's simple to do shapes. If you're doing a female, because I know somebody's out there like, how do you do the female? Same thing. Just take it in more. Waist goes in like that, more. Then you can have your legs, triangle, triangle. Another triangle. Hands could be on the hips, up, and could be there. And that's just another triangle right there. There's a triangle in there. Then you can have the head, the neck, and the shoulders are not going to be like this. The shoulders are going to come slope down like that, almost like you're drawing the circle right here and right here. Slope down and come around, so. And then narrow that out, so it's going to be like this. Narrow this out. And for those who don't know how to do breasts, which is not going to be a breast video. Was that off while I was drawing? Hopefully not. This is it. Who doesn't know how to draw a heart? This is a heart. Okay, who does not know how to draw a heart? Flip that heart upside down, and then you have your, for the breast. So I would put right in the center of the neck, draw that heart, like that. And then I'm going to actually put clothes on this character so that moms and dads won't freak out. So let's just put a shirt on this. And then here is the chest for the female. And then I would bring this in a little bit more. And here's her shirt again. So it's like, he's drawing naked women on YouTube. Nope, she's got a shirt on. So that's all it is. It's just that heart. It comes like that. So, most important lesson you will learn. Stop looking at stuff so like, oh, there's too much detail. That's going to be so hard. I don't know how many times I heard people say, oh, that's going to be hard to do. It's going to be hard to do. Not if you break it down into its simplest shapes. And yes, the door's open. So yeah, break stuff down into its simplest shape, and you'll start drawing anything you see, anything you see easily. So that's going to be it for this video. And you've seen my new opening at the beginning. I went to Fiverr and I looked up an animator, and I had this guy do my animation. I will leave the link below to where you can contact this guy and get your animation done. If you want to do some type of animation for, I don't know, a video or whatever, or just opening if you have a YouTube channel. Information is going to be below. And that was like a 5-second animation, and that cost, I think it was like $300 to do that. If I'm not mistaken, $300 or $350 to do that. But I want to say $300 to do that. Yes, it costs money. Artists can make money. This is why I say, don't give up. Don't give up. You can make money doing something that you love. So anyway, information is below. And that was like the higher end. You can, I think, maybe like 100, 200, 300. I don't know, but you'll see his link, and it'll tell you everything about it. You can contact the guy, and he'll tell you, whatever that you need. And I think it only took, about a week. I think a week or 2 weeks. But I wasn't in any rush, so yeah, you can talk to him about how much time you have or when you need it or whatever you want. And it was very simple to do. All I did was drew. And let me see if I have it. And now my video is getting longer, 49 minutes. Okay, yeah, here it is. I just drew up just like a rough sketch of what I wanted. And then he followed it. And it was pretty simple. So, there you go. Get you some animation done. Bring your videos or your whatever to life by having just a few seconds of animation. All right, that's going to be it. If you enjoyed it, if you learned something, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't, and go out and tell your friends that this is how you can draw easily. This is how you can draw. All right, subscribe. As I say, subscribe. Get me up to that 1 million subscriber point. All right, I'm rambling, but that's what I do at the end of class. I'll see you guys in the next video. Keep drawing. Don't give up. Get out there. Make that money. All right, I'm out.